Hey everybody, Jim Chester here coming to you live once again from the Chirothin Forum 2019. I have the best dressed man at Chirothin Forum, Dr. Eric Becking with me.
Yes.
This guy, we just resonate at such a high level frequency. I met him here last year and I taught him about the 528 frequency,
Yes.
the hertz of the frequency of love.
Yes.
And ever since then we just had this like massive appreciation for each other.
Yeah.
And we meet again here because of a great man and woman, Shannon and Jason Strohide.
Yes.
They brought us together again. Let's just say a few nice words of admiration for what they've done, what they're doing for this profession.
Yeah, Jason, Dr. Strohide is a standalone cat, and he doesn't do anything halfway. He is so trustworthy and such a expector of amazing things, and he draws that in and he puts that out there. So thank you, man. Your willingness to take risks and to really make Chirothin what it is has transformed my life. I'm forever indebted, and I've told you that, but I'm serious, and so many of us are. And the world is a better place. Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So let's touch on some of your takeaways that you've had this weekend, and maybe share with our audience why they should probably join us too.
Yeah, the thing about these events are being present is the only way that you get what you need. And you touched on this even when you spoke, is there are things that someone is going to say that are meant for you, and you only get them if you're here. And you don't know what they're going to be. It could be the most unsuspecting speaker that you weren't even going to stay in there for, and they say that thing. And most of the time, you get many things. And I'm talking like these are things that change your life, like forever. And it may not even be about your practice. It may be about your mindset, and it just connects. I've had people come up to me from my talk last year when I spoke, and they said, when you prayed, and it changed their life. I didn't even know that happened, but this is what is happening. So some of my takeaways, one is just the power of committing and showing up and being present, and that's it. And you will never regret taking time away to let your mind think and to hear from just like what we were saying, like some of the most amazing human beings gathered in one space for the greater good of each other. It's incredible.
Well, it's a vibrational frequency that you get when you're around these type of people.
Yes.
And we were talking about the tone of frequency of like the humans that we get a chance to either serve or the ones that we get to break bread with.
Absolutely. And you introducing me to the 528 hertz, and I never even had heard of this. But the concept that we have a frequency based on where we kind of hang out in your mind and in your soul, and that's why you kind of are connected to people. Like you don't even realize the why until you meet. And so for me, you were asking, what am I up to, and what is it I'm about? And really, it's love. At the end of the day, call it what you want, whether it be kindness or the greater good or just encouragement, but true just love. And I recently went to a concert. Lenny Kravitz, one of my favorite artists, but his whole anthem, his entire career is "Let Love Rule." And to see him in concert and to see his genuine heart, he's got a song called "Here to Love." And I didn't even know that it existed, but I've adopted it as it is my anthem now. I am here to love, and that's to serve, to be kind, to care, but it's love, and it is the only way. I want to raise my kids this way, to be here to love. Mm-hmm. To anyone that is connected to me, like, man, let's drop all the negative, all the complaining, all the gossip, all the things that just don't make any positive effect, and let's just love. As cliche as it may sound, but we are here to love. That's it, man.
And as much as this guy likes Lenny Kravitz, I love Bob Marley, and Bob Marley always said "One Love."
Yeah, One
and it's
Love.
probably one of the greatest anthems of our era.
Yes.
And the way that it makes you feel when you listen to it. That's what I was going to say. There's a likeness
Let's
between.
get together and feel all right.
But there's a likeness between going and seeing somebody that you never heard speak before,
Yeah.
and you show up in there. It's like watching a band you never heard before,
Yeah.
and you just fall in love with their music.
Yes.
Sometimes you
So
just
true,
get a
man.
chance to see somebody speak,
Yeah.
and you fall in love with their message. And
1000%.
and when you prayed with everybody last year and people
Yeah.
came by and they said that resonated with them,
Yes.
there is a certain spirituality that we can't deny.
Yes.
And if we have people remember one thing about us, it's to let them know where we stand.
Absolutely.
Because we can talk words all day,
Yes.
but if people don't know what's in there
Yes.
and what's in here,
Yes.
then this doesn't, the brain-body connection that chiropractors
Yeah.
talk about all the time,
Yeah.
then the missing link
Yeah.
is appreciation
Massive.
and guidance
Yes.
and fellowship
Yeah.
and knowing. And there's a difference between somebody that thinks to somebody that knows.
Yes.
There's a difference between
1,000.
people
Oh my
with
gosh.
ideas
Yeah.
and people that do it.
Right.
So we were talking about Freddie Schofield.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And what would Freddie say?
Well, he'd say right on, man. He's like, this is right on. And the thing about him and his message, his whole career has been, you got to get about it, and you
Be about it.
You charge down, and that so many people can relate to that, even if you don't even know who he is, and that really, even with us, like what I encourage, I feel like my thriving message as I talk with people and I want to encourage is I want people to feel that certainty within them, like what has been put in there. Like God made us all with that purpose, that passion, and that thing that is just unique to you. But I think we spend so much of our lives afraid to let that be. I was like, I want you to just be unleashed, man. Like, what would it look like if you were just unleashed? And I think that's what your message is. And we're just like, let's just be great. Let's be amazing. And quit telling ourselves that you're not. Like, you gotta, well, once I get to that one place, then I can really. No, it's now. It is today for everyone, anyone that's listening to this, and you're thinking, oh, well, that doesn't relate to me. It absolutely does, because your internal, like, drive and vision and goal, we're missing it if you don't do it. We need it. And
Amen.
what happens when you let that come out is you begin to walk differently. You talk differently. You interact differently. Everything about you changes because you are now walking as you.
Because you gave yourself permission to be great.
That's it. And what I talked about yesterday is this surrender. And ultimate greatness comes from total surrender. That's the only way. And we want to, like, not. It's like when you talked about, you had to get out of your own way. And you talked about the guy that told him that. He was just mad at him for like 2 years because he was like, he just confronted him with the truth. But then this is what we all know.
And now you know what he tells me? Matt Walker, if you're watching this, he says, you're the hardest working man in chiropractic.
Yes. Wow. So if Matt...
And he's an Iron Man.
Right. So if Matt Walker, who I don't know, but if he doesn't say to you what was in his soul to tell you, then we miss out on your best. Mm-hmm. That you're contributing. So and thank you, honestly, for when I listen to you speak and you bring it, and you are putting in the service and the time and the sacrifice for the absolute greater good. So we are, as a profession, we are grateful for someone like you that is carrying a torch massively. You don't do it halfway, and we are better. All of us and our communities are better, so thank you, dude, seriously. Yes. Brother. And it's about telling each other
We lift each other up.
that we're thankful. Like, I think we so much in our as humans, it's just our nature to only talk about what we want to see better, but we never say what we already like. Like, what if, I think it was in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, he just talks about encouragement and appreciation. That's how we get there.
And you know what I followed?
Yeah.
If you give everything to people that they ever wanted, you'll never have to ask for anything. So that's why I keep showing up and I keep doing my diligence, because I give people what they want.
Yeah.
And now the world, I look down the path and I see opportunities.
Yeah.
And now I'm at that phase
Yeah.
where it's almost too many opportunities
Right.
because I've been so.
gotta be choosy.
It's a law of
Sowing that
reciprocity.
seed, man. Yeah, you're sowing those seeds, and you never regret that, and you it's the only way.
So I know we're coming up on the edge of our time together, and we shared some great inside of our hearts, inside of our minds with our audience today.
Yes.
What's next for you?
So, you know what, I think even like currently, like right now, I'm always looking for my greater focus, and we are really jumping into this world of emotional healing and allowing people to tell their truth, stuff that they've wanted to not even talk about. And as we do weight loss, we discover that people, to truly heal and be a whole person, we have to embrace it all. And a lot of times it's just like letting go of it all. You know, just I call it amnesia of the past. And you just let it go. And we just walk in love. That's one of my biggest mantras, is just walking in love. You know, being love, here to love. It's just love. And it's crazy that it's that simple.
Well, one of the things I want to close with is when I first started Cairo Hustle Podcast, one of the favorite shows I ever watched when I was like a teenager was Russell Simmons and Def Comedy Jam.
Okay.
And at the end of it, he'd always say, "Good night and God bless."
Yes.
And I always resonated with that. So when I first started closing out all of my shows,
Yes.
I would just say what Russell Simmons would always say.
Oh, I love
and
that.
he would say, "Good night and God bless." But I'm going to switch it up for you guys, and I'm going to close out by saying what I always say now,
Yeah.
because we are just one story away.
Yes.
And that's why I do what I do, and that's why we've been so successful doing it, because you are just one story away.
Boom.
Keep hustling. Love you, brother.
Yeah, bro, that's awesome. Thanks for having me. That's so
Yeah.
good.
See you guys. See you on the next one.